All right, I'm going to start today by saying that there is a lot to go through today, and so squeezing it into 15 minutes is going to be hard, so please feel free to rewind, to pause, to go back to look at the filled in notes for any of this that you need today, but I'm going to try my best to get through it, and then you can email me if you have questions. We're going to start talking about circles for units 10 and 11 kind of combined for our last unit. So we're just going to talk about some circle vocab. So this is a circle and all the points are equidistant from the center. So all the outside are equal distance from P. And the center here is P. Okay, a radius is half of the distance across the circle. Okay, so in here, in this case, we have a couple different ways. We could call PA the radius. We could call PB or PC, because they all are from the center point out to the outside. A diameter is all the way across the circle, so the only diameter here is here, and the diameter has to go through that center point. And then a central angle is an angle that uses that center point as the vertices, so angle APC is a central angle, and angle CPB is also a central angle. Okay, a semicircle is half a circle. Oh, I guess that's already there, sorry. A minor arc is smaller than a semicircle, so our semicircle here is this red part. The minor arc here is this red part, smaller than half a circle. A major arc is bigger than half a circle, and adjacent arcs are arcs that intersect at exactly one point. Sorry, my handwriting, I'm trying to go fast. Point. Okay. So adjacent arcs would be this major arc here, this green one, and then this minor arc right there if I stopped, because it's only one point that they have in common. Okay, so adjacent arcs have one point in common. They can be minor or major, but they only have one point in common. Okay, the arc addition postulate says that the measure of the arc formed by two adjacent arcs is the sum of the measure of the two arcs. So if you think back to our angle addition and our segment addition postulate, it's the same, it's just with arcs. It's saying if you take two smaller ones and add them together, you get the whole thing. So if we do arc AB plus arc BC, that's going to give us arc ABC. So the measure of arc ABC, and the way we denote this is like that, that's the notation, equals the measure of arc AB plus the measure of arc BC. Okay. All right, moving on. To find the circumference of a circle, we do the pi times the diameter, or we can think of it as 2 pi times the radius, either way. Okay. So concentric circles are circles that lie in the same plane and have the same center. So they have the same center point, but they're two different circles. So one's bigger and one's smaller, okay? Otherwise they would be the same circle. So next we have the arc length. Sorry, there's a lot of vocab here today. Arc length of an arc is, the length of an arc of a circle is the product of the ratio of the measure of the arc 360 over 360 and the circumference of the circle. So really what that's saying is you take the fraction of the circle and then multiply it times the entire circumference. So like if this was 70 degrees, we would do 70 over 360 times pi times the diameter. And if it was, 100 degrees, we would do 100 over 360 times pi times the diameter, and so on. Okay? All right. So we're going to identify some minor arcs, some major arcs, and some semicircles in this circle with P as the center, and we name it by the center, and A as an endpoint. Okay, so minor arcs here would be AD. Okay, and then AE, because those are less than a whole circle. Okay, and then let's see. with A as an endpoint. That's going to be it. Major arc would be one that's like larger than half a circle. So we name it with 3 letters so we can say which direction it goes. So we can name it AEB, or sorry, AED, because that's over half a circle. We could name one ABE, which is a different one, but they both have A as an endpoint. So ABE would be like from here all the way around to here, okay? And then a semicircle would just be AB, okay? And so, but since there's 2 different ways we can get from A to B, we need to use the center letter. So we have to use AEB as a semicircle and ADB is a semicircle, okay? All right, so now we're going to use these pieces of information to figure out missing parts. So this right here is 40 degrees if the outside is 40 degrees. If the center point is in there, and so that's called an arc on the circle, the arc's degree measure is the same as what it is in the center of the circle, okay? So if this is 40 and this is 56, we know all these added together are going to be 180 on this half of the circle. So we know this angle needs to be 180 minus 40 minus 56, which would give us 84. Okay. And then this line here and this line here create vertical angles. So we know this is also 84 degrees. And then we know that this one here would be 96. And you can either do that by adding these 2 together and finding vertical angles that way, or doing 180 minus 84 again to get 96. Okay, so now we can use these labels and find the measure of xy. So xy is this arc length here. So the arc length measure of xy is 40 plus 56, and so that's 96 degrees, okay? And then the measure of dxm, and that x tells us which direction to go from d to m. So d to x to m, all the way around this way. We're going to add all those together. So 56 plus 84 plus 96, which is going to give us 236 degrees. Okay, and then the measure of ym is just this arc right here. Sorry, it's hard to change colors when I'm doing this. So it's that arc right there. So it's 84 degrees. Okay. All right. Like I said, there's a lot. So if you have questions about any of this, please email me or ask me. So now we're going to keep going though. So a circular swimming pool with a 16-foot diameter will be enclosed in a circular fence 4 feet from the pool. What is the length of the fencing material needed? And round it to the nearest whole number. So the first thing we're going to do is draw our picture, because that's going to be helpful. So here's our 16-foot diameter swimming pool. And here is 4 feet more, which, wow, my drawing is a little questionable. Okay, so to find the circumference of a circle, we do pi times the diameter. Well, the diameter here is 4 plus 16 plus 4 more. So that is 24. So we're going to do 24 times pi. And it says to round to the nearest whole number. So if I punch this in to my calculator, I get 75.36 feet, which is going to be about 75 feet of fencing. Okay? All right. It says to find the length of ADB in circle M in terms of pi. Okay, so that's a lot. So what we want to do is find the actual length, not the degree measure. So this is where we're going to have to figure out the degrees over 360 times the circumference, and that'll give us that chunk of the circle. So we know our radius here is 18, so our diameter would be 18 plus 18, which is 36. So our circumference would be pi times 36, and we're leaving it in pi, so we're just going to leave it like that. And then we know that the length of ADB, so we don't put an M in front. We put the M when we're doing degrees. When we're just doing the arc length, we just write the arc like that. So it would be 210 over 360 times 36 pi, or pi times 36 from up here. And that's because ADB right here, this is 210 degrees, because that's 150 And so we subtract it from 360 to figure out that that's 210. Okay, so then if we multiply that all out, we do 210 divided by 360 times 36 and leave it in terms of pi. That is 21 pi centimeters. Okay. All right, there's 3 definitions here. I'm just going to read through them real quick. The area of a circle is the product of pi and the square of the radius, or pi r squared. Okay, if we want to find the area of a sector of a circle, we're going to have to know what a sector is, which is just part of the area, okay, and it's bounded by 2 radii. So when you're talking about a sector, it has to be, this has to be a radius and this has to be a radius, okay? And then the area of it is just like when we did the arc length. You just multiply the area, pi r squared, times whatever the measure is over 360. So you're really just finding a fraction of the circle or a fraction of the area, okay? So that would be like this. So we would have the measure of the arc, we'll just call it AB in this case because that's what's on here. So we're going to do that over 360 times pi r squared, and that's the area of a sector. So we're going to use that now to answer this question. A circular target has a 2-foot diameter. So this whole thing has a 2-foot diameter, which means each of these halves is 1 foot. Right here is 1 foot. The radius, okay? And it has a red bullseye in the center with a 6-inch diameter. So since this is feet though, right here, I'm going to label this one in feet. So 6 inches is 0.5 feet. We're going to keep it in feet, okay? And then we want to find the area of the yellow region. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a 6-inch diameter, 6 inches across, so that's a half a foot. Okay, so then that means that the radius of this red circle is 0.25, and the radius of this one here is 1, because it has a 2-foot diameter. So what we need to do is find the area of the big circle, and then subtract the area of the red circle. So we're going to do pi r squared, so pi times 1 squared, because that's the radius of the bigger circle, minus pi times 0.25 squared, and that's going to give us the area of just the yellow. And I think I made a mistake on this on the notes. I think I did half of, nope, I did it right, just kidding. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes right now. So if I do that, then this 1 squared just gives me 1 pi. And then this gives me pi times 0.0625. And then that is approximately equal to 2.4945. And you can plug that in your calculator. And so that's approximately 3 feet squared. Okay? All right, last problem we're going to do together. So we want to find the area of this sector. So really what we're doing is we're just doing pi r squared times the number of degrees. So we want to find the sector ACB, which is this guy right here, this whole shaded area. We know the radius is 6, so we're going to do 100 over 360 times pi r squared. Okay, but we know our r is 6 times pi times 6 squared. And we're going to leave it in terms of pi, so 100 divided by 360 times 36 gives us 10 pi meters squared as our final answer for the radius of that. Okay, now if you're able to, I would highly recommend giving this next one a try. It's a challenge. I'm not going to go through it. There's a lot of parts and pieces from previous units. It is tough. But I would really like you to try it and then check your answer on the copy of the filled in notes. I do have all the answers posted on the filled in notes of how to do it and how to get each part or piece. And please let me know if you have questions. But I'm about at my 15-minute limit today, and I'm sorry that I talked fast. Please, please, please email me if you have questions. Otherwise, you have a formative assignment to work on.